So let's welcome Bobbi Woods with her speech entitled, Italia. Bobbi Woods.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I had the opportunity to go to Italia, so I want to share that with you. And I guess the first thing I should do is give you a little prelude or orientation as to how this came about, because I just don't flit off to Italy. I would love to just flit off to Italy, but I don't. This was in celebration of the 40th anniversary of my son-in-law's parents. Coincidental, it's all within a month. The 40th anniversary, the 30th birthday of her triplet sons, lovely boys, and the 6th anniversary of my daughter and their son's wedding. So it was this huge reunion that they put together. And they did it at this gorgeous villa in Tuscany, where my daughter had arranged for all the families to come together for the wedding 6 years ago. The family has been going there on an annual basis to just relax and enjoy. It's beautiful. The owners have now added a third property that's an apartment building in the Italian. It fits right in. It looks just like it belongs there. It looks like a huge villa. 8 apartments, holds 30 people. We had 36 people there for the week. It was fantastic. Everybody had their own little apartments. They had this huge barn where the family that owns the villa would come in. For the arrival night Saturday, they came and they put on a 5-course meal for everybody. And then Wednesday, I know, it was fabulous. On Wednesday, which was the climax of the whole event, we had a huge party out on the veranda by the swimming pool. And they brought in caterers and tables, and they did a 7-course meal.
Oh, good.
These people know how to cook and eat. It was fantastic. So you had all these. It was the really nice part about it was in Tuscany, in the valleys, there's so much land. It's so beautiful. The owners of the villa have vineyards and olive groves, and they grow their own and export it. It's sitting right in the heart of the valley. And on the patio by the pool, which is where you had the two groups. You had the more mature group, and then you had the youth. The youth, I think the youngest youth was 24 years old. But we would all gather around and sit around the table in the evenings and drink wine and talk. And you could see off in the distance all these lights. And it was this old monastery castle across the valley. Monte Puziano. You can look it up on the map. It's gorgeous. You'd have the lights of that over on that side. And then on the other side, which you couldn't see, but in the morning when the sun would rise, was another, I can't remember the name of it. It was another Monte Pucci something, And we were about 20 kilometers from Cortona, so people would go off on their day trips. It was so beautiful and relaxing. We would get up in the morning and take walks, and you'd walk through the orchards and through the vineyards and be going up these trails, and off the side would be these gorgeous little smaller villas where families lived, and you could see off of the big barns. And we were walking one morning, and there was this little path that went down that had these huge trees. It was really beautiful. At the end was an open area, and we thought, well, this must be another gardener. We walked down. It was a family graveyard with a mausoleum, and so well maintained and so beautiful. So relaxing. That was so fun. And getting to meet all of these fabulous people. Each of the sons brought groups of their own little groups. So you had all these different people that had never met before. What was really fascinating to me was the parents, and I was a parent, and there were several couples that were parents of this age group, and we're all talking about what we're doing and how things are going, and then you have this other group, and this was the boys' friends and the boys, and they're all in their 20s to 30s. So there was a couple that are, one of them is an actually practicing veterinarian in England now. The other's almost through with his schooling to start practicing. One of the friends is a kind of a geek guy, and he's working in Kuwait right now, came all the way from Kuwait for the event. One of the sons was in the Royal Navy and just got back from Afghanistan, so he was there, had a fabulous time. All these kids in them going, wow, look at what they're doing. They were all very, very, there were 2 doctors, there was the veterinarians, there were 4 bankers, one of them a banker from Switzerland. I mean, fabulous. So that was really nice, way too nice. It was just totally relaxing, beautiful and aesthetic. And then from there, when we ended off there, everybody went their own ways, and a bunch of us went to Firenze, which is probably going to have to be its whole other story. But Firenze, totally different, but it was like you walked back in time. Here we were in the fields and in the villas and just relaxing, having a great time, and then you go into Firenze, and you have this mix of tourism, high randomity, incredible activity, in this place where you're walking on cobblestones, and every step, every footfall is multi-leveled, you know, and the walls and the buildings are ancient and old. We stayed in an apartment. The entry to it must have been 20 feet tall. It was just a big door that opened, and you go in, and the rooms were huge ceilings. The windows were huge. I took a picture I'll have to share with you. The windows were huge. They had steps in front of the windows, so you could step up to open up the windows to get the breeze.
Wow.
I highly encourage people to go there. The tone, the people are friendly. The tone is mellow. It took me about 2 days to figure out that relaxing was what was expected. And once you get into it, though, they're just so relaxed, so friendly. It's so beautiful. I look forward to hearing your stories about Italy. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Ray.
Bobbi Woods.